Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Million Mom Movement. This is Michelle Ricci, and I'm coming to you on June 2nd of 2023. I've been with the Million Mom Movement for about 7 months now, and I'm so passionate about the work that we're doing here and how this work is impacting my life and the life of my clients and my friends and people that are just impacted and educated on everyday toxins in our lives. So I'm joined by my council member, Carmela, and Taz is speaking at an event, and Naeva is running a women's workshop this weekend on Dave's property. And so this is why we do this, so that we can spread joy and information and education into the lives of others. So today's topic is Fuel Your Journey, Secrets of Health Champions Revealed. So if you're here, you either know or you're coming to find out that Purium has the cleanest, purest pre and post workout superfoods and champion producing products. So this superfood line helps us gain stamina, strength, endurance, results, and recovery. And we're going to hear what our champions do to recover from workouts and how they help others to become champions in their lives. And that's really what I want to talk about today, is this holistic approach to working out, but also to life. And we have some amazing guests. So we have Wame Boyu on today, Rachel Bonsat, and Ian Farrar will be joining us in just a little while. So first, let's head over to Carmela and in the news, and she's going to cover a new study that just came out on how glyphosate is proven now in scientific studies to disrupt the immune system. Finally, we're getting some good information and research. Carmela?
Thanks so much, Michelle. Everyone, happy Friday. So in the chat, I'm putting up an article. Click on it and save it to your device. Go into it a little bit more in depth later. And it was pretty exciting for me because my history of having leaky gut was directly connected to glyphosate toxicity. And how I know this as a mom is that I had been eating processed food and non-organic food. And when I made the switch, it was very, very real to me, how I was able to absorb my nutrition, how I was able to heal many of the different inflammatory issues, including lupus, Hashimoto's, my ADHD, my PMS that was raging, all of that was balanced. So we're here to share this piece. And this actually was just released yesterday, which is why we love to give you new news. And the Defender, this is a great news piece, because if you know the chair, his name is Robert Kennedy. He's a wonderful man. He's actually running for office coming up, and he was very aligned with Children's Health Defense, with the Million Mom Movement, and what it is that he really petitions for. So this article is written by Angelo De Palma, a PhD, and it is all about how the new University of Iowa study provides the first experimental evidence that exposure to glyphosate, even at an officially designated quote unquote safe levels, it does in fact disrupt the gut microbiome in mammals. Many of us already know this to be true, like myself. That's why I had to start off this piece by saying that I know firsthand that it was glyphosate toxicity that made a difference in my health. So this study, it talks about the microbiome, and the investigators in the University of Ohio found that levels approximating the U.S. acceptable daily intake, ADI, is at 1.75 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. So it's really specific, and I love that. I love that they're getting into more specifics of exactly how much is actually what is approximating safe. And glyphosate altered the gut microbiome composition and induced a pro-inflammatory environment. So they're talking about how what happens when it's disrupted with this pro-inflammatory marker. The marker is called lipocalin-2 and CD4, which are positive immune system cells, and an increase in fecal pH. So this is what happens with dysbiosis. And it's a biomarker for various kidney diseases, heart failure, obesity-related illnesses. The IL-75 family of cytokines promotes protective immunity against many pathogens, but also paradoxically, it drives inflammatory pathogen during infection and autoimmunity. So you see its connection. They're talking also about, according to the Cleveland Clinic, the symptoms of the gut microbiome dysregulation includes constipation, diarrhea, bloating, fatigue, and acid reflux. With such health conditions like diabetes, obesity, inflammatory bowel disease, and irritable bowel syndrome. So it is the first study to link dosage to glyphosate's effect on the microbiome. And that's always important for us to start to see, like if we have those cheat days, as you might call them in our Purium lifestyle, how does it affect you? Well, if you're healing your gut microbiome, those cheat days could mean a big cytokine storm happening in your body. Just so watch out for this, because there is what's, now a dosage linked to it. And if you scroll down, the methodology raises questions on how it basically is, it's known to have since 2012, it interacts with the biome, and it ranges to interfere with the immune system function for over a decade now. So these studies are really important for us to share on with our friends and family who are learning to adopt our organic superfood and glyphosate-free lifestyle. It talks about the glyphosate problem. So for friends who need to understand more what the problem actually is and why they should have this solution in their cabinet, in their pantries, it's over 125,000 lawsuits against glyphosate. So think about that for a moment, if there are that many. And then there are settlements as well in favor of us who are suffering because of glyphosate toxicity. So just continue on with this. At the very end, just wanted to kind of punctuate it, was with either glyphosate or its metabolite present in the urine of 81% of Americans over the age of 6, and in samples of 75% of pregnant Canadian women, the chemical is already inside most of us. So I'm going to stop share, but 80 to 90% of Americans, I'm not sure Canadians included, but do in fact have leaky gut. So this is why the holistic approach, and especially to fitness as we know it, our fitness supplements are really glyphosate free, and they will prevent those issues that come along with glyphosate toxicity. Pass it to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Carmela. That's really a great piece. We're talking about cytokines, C-reactive protein. This is inflammation, a spike in inflammation, spike proteins. It's all an unhealthy expression of an unhealthy protein in the cells, and that comes from dehydration and lack of poor absorption and assimilation of nutrients. And so that's why this line is so effective, and that's what leads to the constipation. So I love that you outlined all of that, and that these studies are coming out now. It's really important to pay attention to and pass these on to the loved ones. So while these aren't in boards, they are going to always be in the comments of the replays, especially on the Million Mom Movement official. And Carmela is going to go ahead, if I'm sure she has once, but maybe again to pop it in for those who are just joining us. So we have so many great products, like the MVP for protein and carbs, the super xanthan, which reduces that lactic acid, increases the glycogen to our cells, the apothecary, the super life, the carrot juice, which increases the adiponectin and gives you, that pumped look for days after workout and protects the muscle tissue, the cocoa hydrate that provides the electrolytes and rapidly rehydrates. So we're going to be hearing about all of these from our guests today, and we're going to start by bringing on Wame Boyu. Now, Wame, if you can unmute yourself and join me. I have some notes here, and we're going to riff for a little while. So you actually years and years ago did a lifestyle transformation, and then it kind of dropped out of your life, and you work with clients and customers with Pilates and with fitness training. And tell us what happened, how you re-engaged with Purium, and what you're noticing in the people that you champion for.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. It's so wonderful to be here amongst the Purium family and guests. And it has been an amazing journey. I mean, it's one that is a story that began 10 years ago, where I connected to Purium through a brand partner, did my ultimate lifestyle transformation, and I appreciated it. The value didn't grow, I would say, until 3 years ago when I re-entered into a partnership. Well, actually became an official brand partner. When I first did it, I was a customer. I loved it. I love David Sandoval. You can see even throughout my career how much he inspired me as a trainer, as a coach, the things that I learned during that ULT. But I think it was like a divine reconnection, it just was right on time. I was introduced a year before I actually signed up as a brand partner through Olivia Oshoden, Brandon and Olivia Oshoden. They are Crowns. And they did a presentation for me. And I already had a juicing program within my company. So with my juicing program, I mean, I was limited, to be honest with you. I had the fruits and vegetables, no pesticides in my backyard, but obviously I didn't have the expansion of farms that Purium has access to. So it was one of my clients who began to accelerate in her health, in her wellness. She had brain fog, she had depression, she had extreme bloating. And I'm looking at her like, I know you're on my programs, but something's a little different with you. What's actually going on? And she told me, I'm doing an ultimate lifestyle transformation. I remembered 10 years ago I did it. I said, let me go back and revisit this. And it was the conversation around glyphosate that really rang an alarm inside of me. I said, there has to be something done with this. And so I went into my second ultimate lifestyle transformation. I invited my entire community within my company, ended up becoming a diamond and onto a blue diamond. And here I am today. So I do work with athletes. I do work with the general population. And with this is truly an opportunity for my clients and anyone else who is considering an ultimate lifestyle transformation for cellular regeneration. That's what was so attractive. So I'm 47 years old. This past month, I turned 47, and I have experienced so many benefits from my 10th ultimate lifestyle transformation in 3 years. And I can see how my body has taken to the nutrients, the phytonutrients, and then being able to express that to those that are so desperately in need. So it's been a joy being on this journey with you all.
I love that. And your commitment to personal development and connecting to a higher vibration in the conscious collective is what puts you right back smack in the middle of what we're doing here. And I love that it's inevitable in that's what you've experienced. Now, you're building a team of wealth partners, but really what you have a super strong why. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the restoration through health and wellness that you are championing for these this inner city population?
Absolutely. I have such a heart for inner city restoration. I began doing inner city missions years and years ago with my church community. And from there, I got to see what's actually happening with the people. So being with the most broken people in our population is an eye opener. It's one thing to talk about it, but when you're actually sitting there, with the person that's putting the needle in their vein, when you're in the environment and you're recognizing, wow, these corner stores don't have any fruits, any vegetables. This is a food desert. My heart just broke. And so it's from the brokenness of my heart that fuels my why, and it keeps me going, and it keeps me first and foremost taking care of my own wellness, cultivating my own inner strength, and then working towards various projects to bring this opportunity into the inner city, which Million Mom Movement is giving such an opportunity for that. So it is my why. It's my why to see the most broken of our communities restored. I believe that this is one of the pathways to do just that.
Beautiful. And you're right, this is for everyone. So whether you're doing this so that you can have an income where you can give to lesser communities, or where you're going into these low socioeconomic communities and helping through the Million Mom Movement, through scholarships. So we really hope to see some of your people come through transformation and scholarship and be able to, looks like, 4 scholarships per month for those in need. So Carmela just put that in the chat. So really beautiful work that we're doing, and we can definitely feel your heart. Now you have all kinds of clients: swimmers, runners, Pilates. You do mind body tuning, you do gut and body, mind body connection. And you have a couple of competitive people in your client list, and you had a bodybuilder that has a daughter that's in softball. So do you want to tell me about this athletic family and how you've been able to help them be the champions of their own life?
Absolutely. If you follow me, Wame Boyu, on Facebook, and you kind of go on a little bunny trail into my photos, you're going to see this beautiful transformation from Jennifer Ford. Jennifer came to me as a competitive bodybuilder, and she wanted to get into wellness competing. However, she had 15 pounds of fecal matter in her gut. She had inflammation that protruded her gut. She had fatigue. She didn't know about glyphosate. There were all these different barriers, right? So the beautiful thing about the Purium community is we not only get to provide the farm to family superfoods, but we also get to educate. We get to empower. So as she began her 90-day transformation, she invited her daughter on the journey, who is a young softball player. Jennifer lost 60 pounds of inflammation within 180 days. And her daughter is down, I think now about 20 pounds. Their entire life has changed. They, mom and daughter tag team, right? When they're heading to the softball games for Aaliyah, they're taking their Purium shakes. They are making sure super aminos on the deck, because we know how that provides a relief from muscle fatigue. And so just the lifestyle transformation that she's experienced is really, again, an example of what this can do for a person's life, and then some of the goals that they have. And athletes always have goals, right? Athletes are always preparing for a competition, preparing for something that's going to require their body to be in explosive action. And so these superfoods not only allow the cellular regeneration, but the energy that they need, the relief of the muscle fatigue, the mental acuity that super aminos provide. So we tease each other at the gym now when we're waiting on our Purium orders to come in. Do you have any super aminos? We were going in each other's bags and looking for some extra aminos. We call them minos.
It's amazing. And I love it, because it's not just setting people up for a cleanse, one and done. You're really, truly, whether they're champions, athletes or not, you're setting them up for a lifestyle, and you're right in the lifestyle with them. So anything else? We're going to have Q&A in a little bit, and hopefully you guys can start writing down some questions for them so we can have an engaging conversation for a few minutes. Anything else you want to say to people who are like, well, I'm not an athlete, and I can't, I'm not even getting off the couch, and I don't even know where to start. How can you support and help champion for people who don't even know where to begin?
That's such a good question. And that's my entire world. I mean, I don't only work with athletes, but I work with mostly the sedentary population, and I turn them into what I call warriors, right? So if you come to me and you're working with me, my goal is to help you to find your inner strength. And that's really what an athlete is. An athlete is a person that has really tuned into their inner strength. They have found the power within them to achieve extraordinary goals. And we all have that inner athlete at any age. You can see what happens when the 60-year-old woman who's had toxic overload in her body, who's had extreme mental fatigue, who's had all of these barriers, when she begins to get these superfoods within her, when she taps into a community that is inspiring and empowering her, that inner athlete comes out. She's walking more than she was sitting on the couch, right? That's the athlete in her. That's the athlete in you. So you can find that inner athlete no matter where you are. We'll be inspired by the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and, you know, all of the amazing athletes we see. But don't forget that you have that inner athlete. If you're going from a sedentary lifestyle to adding nutrients that your body needs to cellular regeneration, you're going to do things on a higher level. And so that's what this opportunity gives us. I think that we all get to tap into that inner athlete.
That's true. Our everyday athlete. Moms are athletes, dads are athletes. Everything that we do is us being the champions in our own life. So thank you so much, Wame. We look forward to hearing from you on Q&A, and I hope you guys can go and follow her and check out how she is championing for others in the world. So next, I want to bring on Rachel Ballensott. Rachel has such an amazing story of rags to rapture, really not just with her health and her superfoods and her business. I mean, really, it's just a really balanced story about everything that's going on in her life. So welcome, Rachel. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you went from a place of not having somebody to champion for you to becoming the champion of your life and really turning things around?
Oh my gosh, the way you just said that, I felt this heart pang, and I suddenly wanted to cry when you said that. Not having someone to champion for me and then finally championing for myself, that's totally how I felt. Well, I was struggling for like 6 years. And also I just want to say, well, May, that story was just, I really loved hearing you. That was great. So I was struggling with Hashimoto's autoimmune disorder of thyroid for 9 years. I was looking for solutions everywhere. I got to a point where I could no longer even function. I was not even able to work. I was a wedding photographer. I would show up and sometimes would barely be able to finish the day, couldn't take photos. I would invite friends, come with me, come be here. So if I fall asleep, you can wake me up so that you can help me like stand up and actually like take the pictures. I mean, it was ridiculous how dysfunctional I was in terms of my, energy. And I was looking for solutions forever. And I finally kind of made a decision one day, I'm going to find the answer. This is it. I don't know what it is, but I'm struggling financially because I can't work. And I'm literally not even able to hang out with people. And I even imagined this bleak future that, one day I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be panhandling. I mean, I couldn't even picture what my life was going to be like. And, obviously I turned that around, but the first thing I did was I discovered the ultimate lifestyle transformation, and I embarked on that journey. And right away, I got all my energy back. Literally within the first couple of weeks, all my energy was back. My dizziness was gone. My brain fog was gone. My energy was through the roof. My libido was through the roof. Like everything changed. I was like, oh my God, I'm a real person. I was even able to talk to people and I didn't forget what they were saying. I was able to stay on track with people. I was able to remember faces, remember names. I started going out and hanging out in the world because I literally had become this recluse. I was just like in my house, sleeping all the time and not working and unmotivated. I was like completely unmotivated. And so when I started the ultimate lifestyle transformation, my entire life changed. All of a sudden, I wanted to work out. And that's how my journey began. Prior to Purium, I never, ever even imagined myself in the gym. It was not something that I ever enjoyed. It was not something I ever even looked up to. It wasn't even anything, not on my radar at all. But I had so much work, I had so much energy, I wanted to run. And the first thing I did is I went to the gym and I got on a treadmill. And I was just like, oh, this feels so good. Like, oh, I just want to go faster. And I was just like running. And I was like, wow. And I saw this reflection of myself in this mirror in the, those little TV screens, and it was off, but I could see my reflection. And I was just running and I could see this big smile on my face. And I thought, wow, I can't even remember the last time I saw myself smiling. I can't even remember it. Here I am on a treadmill grinning, And it was like, wow, like the light bulb just turned on. And I remember in this moment, I thought, is this what it's like to take steroids where suddenly you just have all this energy? Is that what this is like? And so I went into this deep dive into the products. I was like, I need to research. And I went and I studied with Dave. I stayed on his land. With the Dave Sandoval, the founder, I ended up taking his whole course, and I got really I understand just all these organic protocols. That's just how incredibly nutrient rich everything was. And I was like, that's what it is. Because I was already organic. I was already doing my superfoods and my shakes and all that stuff. But why was my lifestyle not working, even though I was eating totally healthy? And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. This stuff is completely whole in its nutrition. That must be why this is working. So long story short is I was at the gym all the time. I would wake up and that would be the first thing in the morning, would be at the gym. My sleep improved drastically. So I had also just tons, I felt rested in the morning, and wow, my sleep was good. And I just started, working out all the time. And pretty soon somebody noticed me and said, you're always here, you're always working out, why don't you compete? And I thought, compete in what? Like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know what they were talking about. But I ended up joining this league, this competition team. And I thought, oh, this will be fun, just to be on stage with all these ladies. I'll just do the thing. And so it was my first fitness competition. It was the amateur level. And I thought, wow, it would be really neat just to, watch all these, all my friends place first and everything. And hopefully somebody from our team will win first. And lo and behold, all of a sudden they announced my name and I was first place. And I was like, what? And I was 44 at the time. So I was 44, winning my very first amateur competition. And I won the 40 and up division and also won the 20 and up division. So I was like, wow, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, let's keep going. And then I went on, and pretty soon I did the pro competition, and then I won the pro competition. I was like, wow, I'm doing really great. And so then I went for the International Pro Cup, and I won the International Pro Cup. And honestly, and I ended up being, landed the cover of Bikini magazine. I ended up, having this whole, 5-page article where I was able to share what I did and my whole process. And it was really, really just the most incredible experience. And at that same time, my parents had both died that year. And so I just felt like, these medals I was getting, I was just holding them up, thank you, Mom, this is for you. Thank you, Dad, this is for you. I hope I make you guys proud, and made everything that I was suffering for just worth it. And and then I was sharing this with people the whole time. I knew instantly, those first 10 days when I got my energy back, I was just really excited to share this with people. I became an affiliate right off the bat. I knew that I wanted to be a brand partner. And so I started sharing this with all my friends and family. And so during that time where I was sick, I'd been a struggling wedding photographer, and I found this protocol, and I just was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do for my life. I want to help other people feel like I do. And so now I'm 50. I've been doing this for 9 years, and it's been the most incredible journey. And now I'm, I'm actually with my team. We work out every day together, and we're doing the 90-day plus performance pack. We're doing the full-on athletic, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Amazing, Rachel. I love this so much. And now how you're championing for others, and not just championing for others, but really passing them the reins and showing them how to be their own champions, and that you don't need to, start in any one particular place, that you really can prevail. And I love this, how you completely transformed your world and you're helping others transform their world. So tell me about your day to day. What is non-negotiable for you just to keep up? You came through some pretty serious diagnoses, so to speak, but obviously you're not wearing them like a tattoo. And
I don't have my blood work is normal.
Yeah, yeah, so exactly. So, what that takes a champion mindset, belief before the result. And so now I'm sure it's just part of your lifestyle. What are your non-negotiables now?
Well, my non-negotiables is my super meal shake. All right. That is my non-negotiable, is I got to have my nutrients every single day. And so I wake up every morning, and the first thing I do is I have my super aminos. I like those minos. I love that. The super aminos. I have my super meal shake. I have, if I can get it in, I have my pre-workout drinks, right? The can't beat this. And then I work out. And then after the workout, I do a power shake. and and I do the super xanthan. Super xanthan's a non-negotiable if you're working out, man. I gotta like that gets rid of all the soreness, and that's like amazing because I'm not sore the next day. And also it's great for skin protection. I love how it protects the skin against the sun. So those are my non-negotiables. It's like just that morning routine, having my pre and post workout and having my super aminos after the workout as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you say to people? What do you say to people that feel like they just, same question as Wame, they don't know where to start. They don't know if they can do this. They're just not even motivated to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I love that question because there are two things that keep people from getting started. Number one is cravings. They're like, I can't do this because I crave sugar and I'm not going to give up. I cannot give up my cookies, or I love my coffee. I'm not going to give up my coffee. Whatever they think, they have this idea that they have to give something up. And here's what I say to those people. Don't give up anything. Just add in the nutrition. Because guess what? As your body alkalizes, your tongue alkalizes, and you start craving alkaline foods. So just by nature of adding this in, people end up having their sugar cravings fall away, their sugar cravings disappear. And every craving actually hijacks the sugar craving, even craving for cigarettes, even craving for drugs, all these things hijack the sugar craving. So I just say, add in the nutrients and you will be so surprised that those cravings will disappear. So you don't have to even put effort into it. I was surprised because I was like the kind of person who would eat a whole box of cookies or a whole bag of chips. And I don't even do that anymore. Occasionally.
Yeah. And I love that Dave says that too, addition or subtraction by addition. And it's true. It's one of the first things, the feedback that I hear from people is that that their cravings have gone away. And it's kind of that thing where even if you don't realize it, you go to put something in your mouth one day and, put a 3 in the comments if you've ever experienced this, and you say, oh, that's not actually what I wanted, or you go ahead and eat it because it still tastes good. And then you end up, kind of tanking a little bit where it's noticeable, like, oh, you can connect the dots. So, but
it's
you're right.
Than people think. You just add it in. I love that. By subtraction by addition. What'd you say?
Subtraction by addition is what Dave says. Yeah. So this idea that, adding the superfoods in, the statistic is 90% of Americans don't get the recommended daily value of fruits and vegetables. Okay, well, there's people in food deserts and there's people in poverty. What is the other percentage of people's excuse of why not?
Yeah. Sorry, let me speak to poverty. Can I just say that for a second?
Yeah.
I was in poverty. All right. I started this. I didn't even have the money to get my first pack. I borrowed it because I could see that this was going to help me. I was like, this is going to be good for me. I need to do this. And so I actually borrowed the money for my first pack, but I became a brand partner and I earned that money back within the first 2 weeks. And so I was able to pay my friend back and actually do this. But one of the things that was so cool is I ended up, I actually was living in my car for a while, to be real honest. I was living in my car and this was the cheapest way to get food. Okay, for $2.50, you have a meal that has all of your nutrients in it, or pretty much all of them, like having this every single day in my car where I just had a water bottle and I would just like add it to shake. It saved me time. I didn't have to worry about a kitchen. I didn't have to worry about food prep. It saved me a lot of time. And I didn't have to go, I wasn't buying meals at, Whole Foods or wherever, you might, get a meal at a deli real quick. That's like $15 to $25 a day people normally spend on food, and I can get a meal for $2.50.
I love that. Yeah. And it's so true. We really, I know in our household, we've completely changed our grocery bill. And so,
Easily.
These are the non-negotiables for us before anything else, really, as we make sure we have our Purium order. So thank you so much, Rachel. Please stick around to answer some questions. And we hope that some of our people in the field are going to ask some great questions. So just really appreciate you and resonate with your story.
Thank you.
So next we're going to bring up Ian, and if maybe Carmela, you can help me unmute and find Ian. Hi, Ian. Welcome to the call. Ian was featured in the 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss. He is our original brand partner, and he has been inspiring this long-term commitment of, being the champion of your life, never quitting for 26 years with Purium. So Ian, you have a quote: some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Do you want to talk a little bit about how this has helped you champion, not just for yourself, but for others? And you have a fantastic cycling career as well. So
Yes, yes, and I'm championing the fact that I made it through South American traffic to get here. I was at this amazing, like, organic vegan. I had this friggin' vegan lasagna. It was great, but it took me 40 minutes to get here because of the craziness of South America and driving.
welcome.
Okay. Oh boy, do I love the United States of America. Love it here too, but long story short, I made it here with a few minutes to spare.
I love this. So what makes these products so different, and why has it been such a game changer for not just yourself, but all the people you champion for?
Well, listen, I met Dave and Amy about 23 years ago. I met Amy at the Natural Products Expo in Baltimore, Maryland. And at that time, I was a manufacturer's rep. I was in network marketing prior to that, but the majority of the companies sucked in terms of product integrity. The only great company in the late 80s was Celtech, the blue-green algae company, but they had a lot of financial problems and they went away, unfortunately. But I approached Amy and I planted the idea in Amy's mind, and then she shared it with Dave. And I said, listen, if you guys take these products network marketing, I'll take it to the moon, because back then, network marketing products were more inferior to what was at the health food store. So what kind of opportunity did I have? How am I going to switch someone over to a product line that's really mediocre at best? I'm not going to name the companies, but I think you know them. The real biggies, the product ingredients are mediocre at best. And I was like, this is not going to work. So I became a manufacturer's rep, only to be right next to Amy, because I was representing Vibrant Health, the makers of Green Vibrance. You probably know the green food. I made that #1 in the United States. And guess who put that product together for Vibrant Health? Dave and Amy. So I know the organic kamut blend. I know all the greens were sourced by Dave and Amy. Okay. So, Vibrant Health, they didn't manufacture the product, Dave and Amy did. So I knew that they were going to be a go-to for what we all have today. Okay, so about a year and a half later, I get a call from Dave. I picked up Dave and Amy's brand, Pure Planet Products, Organic Kamut. I was like placing it all over New York City. I need to give people the backstory. And I get a call from Dave. Everyone knows Dave's voice. And I look at my phone and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, it's Dave Sandoval calling me, but I have to take off my gloves because it's 19 degrees outside. And I'm like, Dave, I'm getting a big order for, Organic by Nature, Pure Planet right now. Can't really talk. He's like, well, I think you're going to want to hear what I have to say. And he's like, we're going to take our products network marketing. And I looked up to the sky and it was an emotional moment for me. I thought he was going to just roll out with Organic Kamut because everyone needs wheatgrass juice. He had an audio cassette called The Healing Miracle of Green Foods. It became a DVD. We actually had it as part of our kit in the beginning. And, it's like, listen, I need you to get on a plane to take a look at, what we're going to launch. I'm like, I'm just going to see one product on the table. And he had 53 products: Renew Hair, Skin, and Nails, Hard Aid, Joint Flex. A lot of those products were launched all at one time. So Dave, for a year and a half, was formulating. So as you know, our products are free of any excipients, binders, or fillers, or isolates. Okay, you still could find that in a store-bought product. So for the first time in my life, I have products that are being distributed via network marketing business model that are actually better than majority of what's on the health food store shelf. Okay, even Vibrant Health, Green Vibrance, because they were sold to another person. That's what happens. Garden of Lives, however you want to call it. They're owned by Nestle. Do you think the raw materials are really clean? I know Dave and Amy's products are super clean. So think about the unique opportunity we have here to really offer direct to consumer, the best of the best of the best. Okay. Do you think someone in the aisle at the health food store is actually going to really break down the benefits of a lifestyle? I don't think so. So intellectual distribution was a phrase coined by Paul Zane Pilzer, who was an economist, I think, in the Clinton administration. And he wrote the book, The Next Trillion, about network marketing, about this distribution. Okay. Me bringing a product to your attention, me actually taking you out of my wing, me sharing and loving on you with all the benefits of how this cleanse works how Purium products work, whereas someone in the aisle at a health food store is not going to give you a few minutes because they're pretty much trading time for money, which is okay. Okay, you see people in Whole Foods today. You see people in the health food stores today. Some people care, some people don't. But when we bring in a customer and we share the benefits of our products, we really love on them because, for one, it's an income generating asset, but it also is a way to impact someone's lives, and I've done this with, I've enrolled 1,148 people. The only person that's enrolled more people in me than Purium is Joel Calandrillo. He's enrolled over 2,000 people. So think about how wide I am. Okay. That's a lot of lives impacted. Last day of the month, 2 days ago, it was a bonanza. And if you think I'm just sitting back, this is my 20th year with the company. I'm not sitting back. And, my goal is to enroll close to 2,000 people by the end of the year.
I love this. And you really are the greatest of all time as far as championing for all of us to be able to experience and tap into our natural immunity and really truly experience health freedom. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a champion cyclist to understand
Right.
and feel what's happening in your body. So you help people win. And you treat everybody as a champion. You have like the best customer service of anybody I've ever known. I mean, you're always helpful, I know, to myself and other brand partners. And your belief that the world needs Purium right now, it is, to recover from the standard American diet and also recover from the dollar per hour paradigm. I mean, how do you talk to people that have a hard time getting started? So same question.
Yeah, I mean, winners never quit and quitters never win. Okay. And if I quit, this would have never happened. So just think about that for a second. Okay. Dave and Amy would have continued to do their contract manufacturing, would have moved forward because it's daunting to start a network marketing company. Now, when I speak to people, my magic question, most of you have probably heard this. Are you open to taking your health, fitness, and income to the next level? And if the person looks at me perplexed and they say no, I just keep moving. But if they do say yes, which one of the three appeals to you the most? And if people say all three, then I'm sharing videos off boards, and then I'm setting up the appropriate time to really paint the big picture perspective, because we're in a very tough economic cycle right now. Tough economic cycle. Okay. It's like unprecedented times. In order to stay ahead of our very, very waning purchasing power, okay, you have to really create more and more income to cover more goods, if you know what I'm saying. That's inflation. So the only way to do that is to build a massive network marketing business. Okay. I mean, if I sleep for a year, I'm still making a multiple six-figure income, but I look forward to waking from my sleep to talk to people about Purium. I, like most of you, have a disease, which is called network marketing and Purium. Okay. I mean, this is my 20th year with the company. It's my 27th year in network marketing. And I've made a great deal of income, but I've also impacted tens and tens of thousands of lives during my career, which is really my passion and my purpose. So for all of you, the opportunity just gets better every day because you have more and more people to talk to. People need our lifestyle because the standard American diet is creating, the diseases that the pharmaceutical companies love because they get repeat business. It doesn't get to the underlying cause of any of it. Whereas our program, and I'm not making any claims, but I've heard stories from lots of people with lots of health challenges, not going to name them, that all they do is optimize the body, and the body will get in alignment with healing itself. Okay, which is really, really key. I mean, Hippocrates said it best. My wife was trained at Hippocrates. I've been to Hippocrates. I've met Dr. Brian Clement, and Dave, worked with Ann Wigmore back in the late 80s in Boston. So the thing is, that's the real epicenter of healing. Okay. I mean, that place, you have to see their $25 buffet. It's just like glowing. It's all the sprouts and all the raw live food. Okay. Body knows what to do with that. That's the body's electric medicine, if you know what I mean.
I love this. And so somebody asked in the comments, so what questions do you ask people when they're making a decision for their health? What is the standard when they say, I want the health benefit, but I don't know where to start, or I don't think I can do this? How do you support them in championing for their best life and transformation?
I ask, well, for example, how long you been living this way? And if they say my whole life, I go, then, what sacrifices are you willing to make so you could actually live a high quality life in the last 10 years of your life? I'm not going to be in a hospital, nor is anyone that's very close to me, because they know the value of living a healthy lifestyle. Okay. If you don't take care of your health, where are you going to live? Okay.
That's
Most
right.
people, they rent this, they rent that, they have all the glitz and glam, because you know what, to be honest with you, network marketing, unfortunately, okay, has promoted a lot of lifestyle BS. Okay. The watches, the cars, the lifestyle. Yeah, I travel over the world. This business has afforded me to travel over the world, but you know what? My health never goes on vacation. The same
That's right.
backpack that I have in my kitchen, same backpack that's been to Japan, Dubai, India, Turkey, all over, has the same backpack with Power Shake, Dark Berry Protein, Biomedic, you name it. I mean, I got a backpack just for my nutrition. Okay. So bottom line is that your health is invaluable. Okay. And if people think that other things are more valuable, then have fun with your insurance company and have fun with your doctors and all of that. I mean, I have insurance. God forbid something happens, I fall off my bike, I get in a car accident. Insurance is really valuable, but the best insurance is something that we can control on a daily basis. And I see a lot of you drinking your Power Shake, drinking your drinks on the Zoom. And I'm telling you, I flood my body with the best nutrition every day. I will be 55 years old in December. Okay. And I'm still really performing at a high level. I rode once since I've been here. I haven't really rode a lot. I'm here at Medellin, Colombia, where I'm at altitude. I'm doing other things. I'm actually doing other things in the gym, which is great, which I haven't done most of in my life. And, I love my regimen. Okay. I love the fact that I look and I feel, pretty good at my age. Okay. Because we could all live much younger in our bodies if we give it the right things, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I am 53 and determined and
Winning.
proving that age can be reversed. So
Winning.
I just appreciate it. And I appreciate you being the champion, OG, greatest of all time, original brand
Dude.
partner that brought this all to life for all of us so that we can share and be champions in other people's lives. So I think you said what your non-negotiables were. I want to open it up to questions. If you can stick around for, what is that? That's your gift card?
Yeah. Never leave home without them.
Yeah, that's right. So
That's
non-negotiable is Biomedic. What else did you say?
Oh, non-negotiables. I mean, listen, my pre and post workout, my can't beat this. I start my day with can't beat this, with my C from Nature, my hair, skin, and nails, my Joint Flex, my Super Life formula, my Super Xanthan, my Bio Regen, got to keep the skin all nice.
Yeah.
I take my Bio Relax for the evening. I take my Corella with me. I'm going to Germany when I get back from Colombia on Wednesday. So I got lots of products that are going to be waiting for me, but I'm taking Corella because on long flights, of course, your oxygen level, drops and you're exposed to more radiation. So I'm taking Corella, spirulina. I mean, we all have a laundry list of Purium products on this call, I think. But there's a lot that have been part of my family for a long time. Dave, a lot of the products we have today have been part of the line since day one. Okay, the new ones are the Can't Beat This, the BioRegen, the BioRelax, MVP, Can't Beat This, relatively new. But the cast of characters is running through my veins on a consistent daily basis.
Beautiful. And the only thing we have to do to be champions in our own life is understand the power of investing in ourselves in this way. So thank you for being an example of that. I wanted to see if, Carmela, I'm going to pass it to you first to see if you have a question for our panel. And if we have time, we can take maybe another question. So if you have one, put your hand up and we'll see if we can get to you.
Let me think. Well, I loved having all of you guys on. Thank you so much for being a part of this call. And I know athletes, they're really concerned about hormonal health. Rachel touched on it with Hashimoto's. I think as we age, you guys in the late 40s, mid 50s, that's remarkable as athletes. Do you want to talk about hormonal health and athleticism?
Yeah, I'd like to. I really like to. I'm a man in my 50s, and believe it or not, I was worried that Super Life formula was going to create a positive test, because there's no synthetic, testosterone in there, but there is velvet antler, which has had a lot of, press about it. But I have been drug tested because I asked Dave and he's like, it's the best thing ever. You should take it. And I'm like, well, what happened if I get, I win a gold medal, I get tested and that's a lot of bad press. Well, I won that gold medal, didn't test negative, didn't test positive rather, won 2 silver medals, didn't test positive. So I was happy about that. But, my testosterone at my age is like over 600, which is kind of like not normal. I've been taking Super Life formula 6 a day for 20 years, a long time. I mean, I started Purium when I was like 34. It was super male formula back then, but we opened it up to women, females and males. But that's been an amazing product. The American ginseng extract, which is another adrenal formula. But for me, hormone health is really, really important. I think women should take that as well. My wife, unfortunately, suffered for she suffered a real drop in her testosterone, and her libido is kind of like flatline, not getting personal, but women are challenged with this. And I brought it from 0, not that high, but up to maybe a 20. Okay, because women's testosterone levels are lower than women, but I brought it from 0 to 20 just with Super Life formula. So it does work. And I believe in natural methods, but hormones do a lot of different things in the body. But for a man, like I'm supposed to be losing like lean muscle mass, but I haven't, because I take a lot of super aminos, I take Super Life formula, take Be Energetic, I take all the things that are going to support the adrenals. So that was a long-winded answer to your question.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, and Rachel or Wame, do you want to speak to that? And also protein, right? Athletes are concerned about protein. They don't really realize they can get it from being vegan. So
yeah.
We'll end with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
want to talk? You're going to speak to that, Wame?
Sure. Yeah. I was going to say, coming into the second half of life, we've coined a term called aging with grace, and we actually do superfood socials centered around the benefits of aging with grace. And again, that cellular regeneration for me, one of the things that I've noticed is I'm premenopausal, and I'm just seeing that my body not only adjusts to the various formulas, whether it's all of the superfoods of the ULT, adding the super lights, adding even hair, skin, and nails renew. That has been amazing, because what happens to women as we begin to age, our hair, our skin, all these different changes. I also noticed that genetically, my family tends to get these deep stress lines, like right here in the middle of the forehead. I noticed that just began to fade, probably because I'm not as stressed, because when your body is under toxic overload, it can create those stress factors. So it's just been amazing. I can't wait to see myself at 60. What's going to happen? I'm trying to be
Oxidative stress
like you
gets
all.
to all of us.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Rachel.
Yes, well, one of the things I want to say is the #1 product as a regenerative health practitioner, somebody who is also an Ayurvedic practitioner, that I would say is the super meal, because it has all these adaptogenic herbs. It's got eleuthero root, it's got rhodiola, it's got maca, and then it's got 5 different kinds of adaptogenic mushrooms. And so an adaptogen is something that helps balance, it helps adapt to stress. And so this is actually one of the #1 products that actually helps with balancing hormones. And that's why when I read the ingredients, I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I actually only did the super meal my whole first year. And I stayed on the ULT for a year until my body really felt detoxed, until I really felt super nourished. And then I really felt like, okay, I've got it. So you can stay on this ULT. Don't worry, it's just food. People say sometimes, is it okay? I mean, like, do I have to stay on this stuff? I'm like, well, do you have to eat? I mean, do you want to eat forever? Or do you want to stop eating sometime? It's just food.
Drop a 6 in the comments if you're gone beyond 60 days with the lifestyle transformation. And, that's what we're talking about, oxidative stress. That's what all rapid aging is. Ian, you want to wrap us up with addressing protein?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've achieved a lot in sport, and I'm plant-based. I do have a little ghee from an Ayurvedic standpoint. I have no problem with that. It's actually beneficial for me. But the thing is, 99%, or plus percent vegan. But the super amino 23, or the master amino acid pattern, as it's been called. Okay, I've had that product, been using that product, take hundreds of thousands of those tablets. It's the best utilized form of protein on the market, hands down. any protein powder, whether it be ours or someone else's, okay, it has to go through the GI tract. This is digested in 23 minutes or ready to be used by the working muscle in 23 minutes. I've taken up to 30 a day, believe it or not, when I was really training, like when I was riding like 350, 400 miles a week, which is a lot of volume, a lot of recovery needed. But I chew them. Okay. I'm not advocating people chew them, but they're kind of like candy for me. I'm like, oh, I think I need something to chew on, and I'll just chew on the aminos. They travel everywhere with me, everywhere. I take them in my workouts. For the first time, I actually have boobs now. I had a very Tour de France, like flat chest. Okay, I was like very, very skinny when I was at my race weight, which was 142, 143 pounds. Now I'm 156 pounds because I got some super amino muscle, which is really great. So I've been doing other things, not riding as much, but more in the gym, doing a lot of calisthenics, doing a lot of core, a lot of push-ups, and Super Amino 23 really works. You just got to take them consistently.
Yeah, I mean, these were designed by an Italian physician for people who didn't even have stomachs. So they do go right into the lymphatic system, and it's 99% assimilated into the system. So they're showing lean muscle being built on people that are in hospital beds. So this has been cited in the physician's desk reference. It's actually used in a medical application intravenously, and we're the only ones that have this pattern and can make it available to the public. So it is quite amazing and completely replaces protein. So you can take it with a meal or with your shake, but you're getting more protein, more effective in your life than ever before. Well, this was absolutely a sensational call. I really appreciate everybody being here. Ian, I know you got to hop for another call, so I appreciate you. Rachel and Wame, we hope you stick around until the end. We're going to do call to action with Carmela. So grab your phones and stick around for a moment, and maybe one of you ladies can read the pledge for us first.
Rachel or Wame?
I'd be happy to read it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and to educate myself on all aspects of clean eating. I think it just went off.
Whoops.
That's okay. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and the environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing the movement of many. I am the Million Mom movement. Yeah.
Thank you. Carmela.
Thank you so much for reading that. I appreciate you. And let's close out this call with an action. So in the Million Mom movement, we're the activism arm. So we have been calling out, actually questioning the appeal coding. So at the top of the list of distributors is Costco. And we want you to go to the Instagram page of Costco. Interestingly, guys, I put in a comment, which I recommend you guys to do too, and it was erased. So I put another one in just so we could make sure to share this here for you today live on our YouTube channel. So if you scroll down, there's a number of Costco sites, but Costco, and then look for the one that has the pizza. So click on the pizza, and I wrote call to action. I appreciate your attention to sourcing organic produce that are especially locally sourced. And my family and I love to purchase from your stores. As a concerned mom and member of the Million Mom movement, I was particularly concerned that you were on the top of the list as a distributor that approved the use of the appeal coding, even on organic produce. I've spent hours trying to find out how these coatings are made and what is the process of extracting the mono and diglycerides from the grapeseed. Did you know that appeal has no approval of any kind of health effect studies long-term use? Are you aware that emulsifiers, which is the category of the coating, it's linked to gut dysbiosis and digestive disease like Crohn's? We hope that you look into these studies and consider the lack of studies for the well-being of your customers. So in the chat, I wanted to put, and it's also going to be located in our official Million Mom Movement official Facebook group page under the replay of it. What you could write, copy and paste, or make it your own, but we're really questioning the people who are allowing this process to go through, this coding to be on all produce now. It's next is Trader Joe's, and there's a long list, and we're just wanting to question this particular coding. So I pass it to you, Michelle.
Thanks so much. Next week, June 9th, hydrate to elevate, quench your body, energize your mind, and embrace healthy hydration habits. So what are electrolytes and trace minerals? Where do we find them? Why are they important? We're going to be covering everything from kids to migraines, all ages, athletes, health issues, all the things. So be sure you go to any number of our pages to find out how to register for that event. We would love for you to become part of our community and like us on the Million Mom Movement official Facebook group, where you'll find the replay and all the links to everything that we talked about today in the comments. You can also follow us on Instagram page at Million Mom Movement, follow us on Twitter at Million Mom Movement, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel where every Lunch and Learn and every Fierce Friday is posted. If you're watching the replay or you were invited here by somebody, be sure to get back to them. And if you are doing call to action or making any kind of social media, please be sure to tag us. I am the Million Mom Movement, hashtag Million Mom Movement, hashtag we are the Million Mom Movement, and we are the Million Mom Movement, the movement of many. You don't have to be a mom. You just have to have been a kid, know a kid, or know of kids that they exist in the world to be an advocate, an everyday advocate and champion in your own life. So thanks everyone for joining us. We hope to see you next week and on all of our social media platforms. And special thank you to all of our amazing guests and the pearls of wisdom that they dropped on us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Rach. Good job,
you.
Lily.
Thank you. Bye-bye.